speaking of, moving on to the NBA, speaking of valuable franchises and money spent, who do you think was the most valuable NBA franchise this year?
The most valuable NBA franchise this past season?
This past season.
The Heat.
The most, huh?
The Heat.
Nope. I don't even, who is the most valuable NBA team?
The Thunder?
Nope.
The Lakers?
Nope. Oh, I got shit going on. Hold on one second. No, the Lakers actually came in at number 2, and they said they would have come at number 1, but they spent so much money on luxury tax and shit like that.
Okay.
The New York Knicks.
Ew.
Top Forbes list. The New York Knicks, followed by the Los Angeles Lakers, then followed by the Chicago Bills and the
Chicago Bills?
Chicago.
Holy trees, Batman.
The Chicago Bulls, not to be mistaken for the Buffalo Bulls, but anyway, the Chicago Bulls and the Boston Celtics. Your Miami Heat didn't even. I don't even know if they're on this. They're the Celtics and then the Nets. The Nets.
Ew.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other thing that's nuts right now, and I'm gonna go. I don't think this is gonna be a shock to anyone, but I think this is LeBron's last season in Miami. Anyone paying attention on Dwayne Wade's birthday, he put out a picture collage saying we'll always be brothers through thick and thin, yada yada. And to me, that was a sign that LeBron's like, all right, the writing's on the wall. This team's about maxed out. We've done all we can do here. There's not a whole lot left. Dwayne Wade is just beat up. He's missed 12 games this season. I mean, I think he's about done. I think his body's done.
Yeah, I think he is too, man. I think this will probably be, I mean, and I look at what they have to go through in the East, just in the Indiana Pacers. The rest of the teams are weak, but the fucking West is so crazy too. And I'm going to tell you what, man, Paul George is quickly becoming like an NBA superstar. That breakaway he had the other day when he did that 360 in a game, like the slam that he did in a game, arguably could have won a slam dunk contest.
Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely would have been entertaining to see. And then my favorite thing is right after the game, he gets an invite to the dunk contest, and he goes, nah.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck that shit,
No, because if he's smart, the other thing I would do is I told you, with as many minutes as they're playing, I would be sick during the NBA All-Star, just to rest, because they're legitimately could send their starting 5 to the All-Star team. I don't think too many people would argue that, but with the minutes that they're putting up, I mean, I'm looking to take a break, because right now they want home field. They have the best home field. They have the best record in the East. I don't know how the record compares to it might be the best record in the NBA, but
that would be home court.
What I said.
Because when they motherfuckers start playing, you said home field, because when they start playing on a 100-yard football field, that's going to be a real basketball game, son.
Home field, home court, home whatever. Put it this way, they want home field advantage, and if they get home field advantage, they're going to beat the Heat. And I'm said that right here now in front of you. If the Miami Heat have to come in at the number 2 seed and they have to play at Indiana at Game 7, they're going to lose. They just do not. I don't think they have it this year. But that's just me saying that. They just traded away Joel Anthony for some dude. I was like, really? That's okay. All right.
And this is the thing, man. I mean, Indiana beats you with, they slow down the game and they got those big minutes, stuff like this. And I tell you what, the Heat to me could have trouble with young ass teams. I said this last year and everybody kind of laughed at me. And I'm like, I thought I said I think the Wizards will be good this year, decent. They'll make the playoffs, which I think they will make the playoffs. They're playing pretty good. I don't think they're like the 5th seed. You can have a losing record in the East and be in the 5th seed. But the one thing it is these matchups makes these games, and the Wizards, man, are a type of team that, they run. And they're up and down the court, and an older team that can fuck you up. Well, they can get caught up in that and get surprised.
And the weird thing is I don't know how this will fit in, but the Wizards have gone on record to say they're trying to go after Greg Monroe from the Pistons. I don't know how that Greg Monroe from the Pistons.
Right.
I just don't know. I know he's a local kid. Didn't he go to Georgetown?
I think he did play with whatchamajig with Otto Porter.
Right. So I'm just trying to figure out how he's going to fit into that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think at one point they might get rid of Bradley Beal. I mean, Bradley Beal's a great player, but he shoots the ball a lot, but he's shooting 32% for as much as you shoot. That's not a high. I mean, great shooters, they shoot in the 40s, and so at some point in time, you're going to think, okay, maybe another team needs this. He could be a valuable asset to bring some players in that could help fill some of the areas that we have weaknesses in. And I think the Wizards, if they can keep their confidence up, they could maybe be one of these teams to get into the playoffs and all of a sudden get past the first round and knock somebody out if they're not one of the top 4 seeds by the end of the season. So, I mean,
well, right now the Wizards are 20-20.
So they're 500.
Yeah.
And what are they at, the 5 seed?
Well, this doesn't have the whole thing laid out. I'm just looking. So that would be Pacers are leading 33-7. Heat would be 30-12. You got the Hawks at 21-19, and then the Bulls, Raptors, and Wizards are all sitting at 20-20. So there'd be a 3-way tie for the 4th seed.
Right. So it's that's it's I'm telling you, it's a possibility. They might, say for example, you get them in the 4 seed or whatever. Maybe they end up in a 4 seed. Maybe they work their way up and end up being a 3 seed, because in basketball, even though your team wins the division, like the Raptors are winning their division, the team that's out isn't winning their division, that has the highest the best record, if their record is better than that other division winner, they go up. For example, at one time, even though Toronto was winning their division, the record was so terrible, the Hawks were above them because they had a better record. Yeah, well, and they had the best record.
According to this, because they actually have the playoffs as if it were today, the Wizards would be a 5 seed, so they would end up playing was it 4 versus 5?
Yeah, they probably play the Raptors.
Yeah, they would open up against the Raptors, and then the Pacers would play the Bobcats. The Heat would play the Nets, which wouldn't be a fun matchup because the Nets play the Heat tough. And then the Bulls versus the Hawks and the Raptors versus the Wizards in the East.
Let me tell you something. The problem is, the biggest thing is that the Heat, everybody's going to be coming after you. And let me tell you something. You do not want to play the Nets. And your first matchup?
No, they don't.
That would be terrible, because you got fucking 2 people that know you guys and have always given you guys fits, Garnett and Paul Pierce. Mm-hmm. And now you got all these other people. So that could be an upset. So
why don't we waddle on out to the West and take a look at the top teams over there? You got the Spurs, the old, grizzled, veteran, been there, done that. We're back here doing it again, sitting at 32-9, leading the West. The Thunder and Kevin Durant is on fire. 7 games or 8 straight games of 30+.
It's something crazy like that. I mean, a few games over 40. I mean, you look at Durant, and they were talking about them earlier. I was listening to SVP and Russillo, and they were talking about him, and they were making comparisons of Kevin Durant to Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, obviously some of the greatest. And they were saying the thing about Durant is he can do it all. He's got a few inches, like you look at him compared to Jordan. He's got Jordan by 3 inches, maybe 4 inches and stuff. So he had the height that Jordan didn't have. You know what I mean? And he can go, he can drive, he can do all that stuff. Magic Johnson has around close to the same height, but Magic Johnson doesn't have the outside shot that Durant has.
Right.
And then you had Bird, who was close to the same height, maybe a couple inches shorter, had the outside shot that Durant has, but he didn't have the ability to go to the hoop like Durant has. And it's like, this guy can do it all. I mean, he really can. He can take it. He can come down the lane and fucking slam on your ass. He can do it all. He can shoot a 10-footer, slam it, fucking shoot beyond the arc. He can do it all. And the way he's just improving now, it's like, man, he can and probably will be one of the greatest of all time.
So on this 8-game stretch of scoring more than 30 in 8 consecutive games, he's also managed to score over 40 1, 2, 3 times and over 50 once.
Yep.
He's absolutely been on fire. But I guess my only question is, can the man play defense?
No, I mean, he can, I guess, if he wants to focus on that. And for the Thunder to win championships, he's going to have to do that. He's, I mean, you look at all the greats like Jordan. I don't know. I can't remember how good Johnson was on defense. He was decent.
Well, you got to figure Magic had a distinct size advantage over the guys he was going against. Magic was what, 6'6"? Yeah. Playing point and shooting guard. I mean,
yeah, and center at one time. I mean, I guess, but I don't know. When I think of defensive players that had that, I always think of Jordan. Jordan was just a great defensive player, and obviously Pippen was a great defensive player. I think Durant is more your scorer. I mean, he's more like a Malone. You know what I mean? That kind of forward, like, you know, he scores, one of those scoring forwards, more like a finesse player. Like you don't see Dirk Nowitzki. You never saw him, you know, really playing a lot of crazy defense. And I think that's more what you see with Durant now.
Dirk
is he going to
Nowitzki
have to change his game?
Motherfucking nuts. How the hell are you 7 foot tall and you don't average a double-double?
Well, I'm telling you, that's because he doesn't have a lot of physical play.
He gets scared if he gets anywhere near the elbow, he gets nervous and immediately starts backing up.
I mean, I look at Dirk as a 7-footer that just has a sweet touch. He's got that. He's near the arc, either right inside or right outside. I mean, he's, you know, that's his range. He doesn't like getting fucking in under the basket and doing this. He can do it,
and that's got his team right now coming in at the 7th seed. They're barely in front of the Suns, and both those teams are barely in front of. I mean, you got 3 teams right on the cusp of that 8th seed with the Grizzlies, Nuggets, and Timberwolves. But then you also have to, like, the number 3 seed is the Trailblazers. Then you got the Clippers, the Rockets, the Warriors. I mean, all those teams are so young and hungry. And I'm gonna tell you crazy. I would enjoy nothing more than the Rockets get swept.
Yeah,
I can't stand Dwight Howard. I really don't like that dude.
Yeah, what are they sitting at? What seed are they at?
I think they're 4th.
They're 4th, yeah. I just don't. I really don't think they have a team yet. Maybe if they get another piece in there. Remember I said that at the beginning of the season. I don't think they have all. They need that other piece. They need that third man. You know, you got Howard, you got Harden. You need another dominant player, like a good 4 to come in there. And I think that's when they'll be a team to watch out for. But I think they'll lose. I think they'll lose maybe in the first round, dude.
I said, I hope so.